obviously broadcasters in the USA and Europe are scrambling to respond to what's happening. They're changing their schedules, they're looking again at their advertising offerings, that they're furloughing staff in some cases and taking all the necessary steps. Is there more they should be doing? Are there initiatives that you haven't seen that you'd like to see the industry taking?
I don't know if I would like to see it. You shouldn't. I mean, this is a crisis situation, so you don't necessarily want to see things. But one of the things I would do, and you have to, you can say, well, you can just swallow the decline and the loss of profit in Q2 if it's only Q2. But that's very, very difficult when you run a P&L, and it's very difficult when you're a public company to do that. The big question is, are they cutting the right way? After talking to broadcasters all over the world, there are a tendency to cut in the future focused areas, whether it's technology development, content on streaming devices, etc., wherever they can cut on that. And that's dangerous because if you do that, traditional broadcasters are already under a lot of pressure from obviously Disney Plus, Netflix, Peacock, etc. There's a lot of activities in that space, and if you start cutting in that space and on technology, which broadcasters really need to invest in, you can accelerate that decline in the future, and therefore you're focusing short term on cutting costs, including future area is dangerous for you, not just this year but next year as well.
So your message to the industry in a sense is, don't turn your back on the new. This isn't the right moment to do that. Change is coming. It's not going to stop.
Yeah, because you have companies like Microsoft, GE, etc. They're all founded in times of recession. So if you focus and if you keep the money in the future-proofing area, you do well. And then you should probably be brutal in cutting, if you have to cut, in areas that was the past. But that's not necessarily what's happening. But I think you will see the companies, and you'll see the companies in 21 and 22. You will see the outcome of what's happening right now.
So tell us a bit about advertiser demand for advanced TV. Obviously, Finecast is rolling out an addressable capability across multiple markets. How is advertiser demand for your offering changing? Do you think the current crisis is going to accelerate interest in advanced advertising, addressable, all of these interesting new areas?
Yeah, you come back to how we watch TV. We as humans, we like traditionally what we do, and that has kept linear or pay TV going. I think that people will now get appetite for more and more streaming, and they will carry on with that. So I think you'll see a decline in linear, pay TV, etc., wherever you are, whatever terminology you use, all over the world, and that will accelerate. With the whole on-demand streaming video comes a lot of data, and that gives you a lot of opportunity to do more advanced addressable TV, which is very, very interesting. And because of the situation we are in, we obviously see some clients spending less, whether it's travel industry, car brands, etc. But we see a lot of industries like the government, groceries, online gaming, e-commerce, laptop, anyone producing laptops and screens, and they spend more and more. And we've had an astonishing growth at Finecast in Q1, but even we're growing in Q2, where everyone is declining. Because more and more brands are seeing that and are getting into that space. And when they get into that space, we see that space will accelerate more than it normally would. It would already accelerate a growth, but it will probably go steeper now, the curve, which is very, very fascinating. That obviously have an impact on the entire industry versus the traditional and the new coming into this space. So that's I think it has very, very good times ahead of it.
So a final few words. What do you see as the long-term implications of the current crisis for the TV ad market as we head through the 2020s? Do you think by the time we get to 2025, the new normal is going to look very different to the old normal?
Yeah, if you asked me that question in January, I would nearly have said the same as I'm saying now. Uh, um, Traditional linear TV is in decline, and it will one day stop to exist, because we will watch everything on our terms and on demand and streaming, etc., etc. And technology enable us to do many different things. So I think it's going more and more in that direction. I think that's going to be accelerated. And because of these times, if you don't invest as a traditional broadcaster in technology, in content relevant, particularly for streaming, etc., it's going to accelerate the decline for you, because you have, I mean, being in the industry, it's very difficult to not read about all the SVOD and AVOD services and coming out, and Netflix now has a higher market cap than Disney. I think I saw yesterday was at 187 billion US dollars versus 186 from Disney. And it's just an indication of what is to come and how, and therefore you have to be part of that and you have to invest in that.